One, two, 1, 2. No music. What up, Gustavo? Let's get this started. ¿Cómo estás? Vamos a comenzar esto con un speed chase que anda pasando ahorita. Vivo. Bienvenidos. ¿Me oyes bien, Gustavo? Déjame saber. All right, 1 second here. We're going to get this. We're kicking it off tonight with a speed chase. There's been a whole lot this week. And we got another one tonight. Of course, it's Friday night. So it's expected for sure. What's up, Javier? Diesel, what up? We're kicking off the stream with a chase here. It's popping off. They were just in the they're still in Westlake area. And this is Channel 4. Smoking Scans got it on right now, so you know it's popping off over there. He starts his nights off pretty early, and he mentioned, he usually gets speed chases, so it's on and cracking on his channel. But here's Channel 4 News. I was looking to see who else is on. Channel 4 is on, and I think one other channel. I couldn't find anything else, but 4 is on it. So we'll check it out here. They did drop off several suspects, and they were apprehended already, but the chase is still on. And we got the Bud coming in. The Bud, where's the Bud? Everyone having a good start to their weekend, hopefully. I held it down solo at the shop today. It was a smooth one overall that I could remember. Kind of surprising for a Friday, but yeah, earlier this morning as soon as I got to the shop, our good friend from Midwest Night Watchers, what up, Trekking, sent me no, and speaking of what you're mentioning there, two of the chases were fatal. There's a taco stand on the right. Anyone need some tacos? Taco Friday? Anyone? Gustavo? And as always, viewer discretion be advised. Yeah, there was one 2 nights ago, I believe it was, that ended. What was it was the night, the one that I streamed at the shop. There was a chase that we live streamed. I wasn't able to set all this up, so I used my phone and the desktop. And later on that day, there was another white truck. Because remember that chase there? It went from a red truck, they switched trucks into a white truck, and they took off, got pulled over. One guy got apprehended, but then the passenger ended up taking off with the truck. They never got that person. Welcome on in, Dragonfly. And later that night, there was another chase with another similar white truck. I think it was the same. Was it a Chevy? White Chevy, the first one. I think it was the same thing on the second one. Trip out on that, right? And that was in the Orange County area. We could put a little audio here in a second too. And that one didn't turn out well. We'll take a look at that later. So a heads up to anyone. We're starting off the night like this. We'll be getting into some of the more of the speed chases that happened earlier this week. And then we got some Bigfoot stuff. We'll get into some squatchy business as well as a few other things. We're going to be hanging out tonight. What's up, Tanya? And there's Ninja Dave. What a surprise. Welcome on in, everyone. How's everyone doing? There's a nice view from the chopper there of down. So we're going through downtown right now, West 7th Street, downtown LA. I wonder, we'll see. We'll see if he hits Olympic. A lot of times You know, we get those chases down Olympic as well. And Olympic is where the smoke shop is, our smoke shop. So whenever you hear me talk about the shop, that's what we're talking about. Smoke shop, skate shop. You can get art supplies, clothing, and more. Spiritual items as well, incense, Palo Santo, sage, and all that good stuff. Yeah, we got scented candles as well. So we got a vibe for everyone. And let's see here. He was cautionally crossing the street there. He kind of slowed down there, which is surprising. Usually they'll be flying through, not giving a rat's what's in their way, which is scary, dangerous and scary. We'll see how this goes here. Is that NAC? I see. Who else is up in here? Welcome in. Come on in. We're live on different platforms right now. What's up to everybody on the different platforms if you're watching? TikTok, Insta, Twitch, Kick Rumble. What else? X. Let's see here. He's hooking a right. Let's get a little audio here so you get a feel. We do have we got a person crossing. Excuse me. That guy didn't care. And yeah, it's a hot night. All types of calls coming in. The stringers are out. So we'll be checking them out in a second. And let's take a listen.
Dangerous chase, even though it's not a very fast mover. These
Fast
people
movers.
inside of the vehicle are wanted for committing an armed robbery somewhere in the Temple City area. It's unknown if it was to a business or a residence, but it is two very dangerous people that obviously the
No.
LAPD wants to take into custody. And originally started with Alhambra Police, but
Yeah, are
the
they having
crime
are they
itself
having
happened
movie night
somewhere
tonight? I
in
didn't get a
Temple City's
notification.
jurisdiction. The
It
chase has
must
been
be
going
over
on
on
now for
Rumble. I
about
know they're doing
45 minutes.
I believe they're
Alhambra
doing movie
PD let it
night
go because it was
on
simply too
Easter.
dangerous. That is when
Yeah,
the
go
LAPD
ahead.
Central
No
Division
pressure
officers
here.
picked it
We
up, and
always,
we're back on Washington, which is somewhere
we don't
that
hold
they have
people
been
hostage
before. It
here.
was
And then
before we got
Tuesday you got a
overhead. We did hear that
notification.
they were driving on
And what's up
Washington,
with those
and that is where we find ourselves
moon
now and
pies over the
picking up speed
fire?
here as he
That
continues on
sounds
Washington toward Grand.
like quite a treat there. Tanya Groover was talking about moon pies over the fire the other day.
Gonna turn, sure enough,
I
gonna
was like,
turn. This
whoa,
is a
that's a
turn on
new
an
one. She
Olive
surprised a lot of
from
people with that. So
Washington.
now every time I see Tanya, I think of those moon pies.
We're in South Los Angeles, the Central City area of South Los Angeles.
Where are we going? We're going south. We're going east. We'll see here.
Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo
We
soy
get it
Eliana
in
Moreno
español,
reportando sobre una
Gustavo.
persecución que se encuentra ahora en el sur de Los Ángeles en las calles Olive y 23. Esta es la policía de Los Ángeles de la División Central que sigue persiguiendo a este vehículo, un Honda azul en color con dos sospechosos de robo armado que están tratando de huir de la policía. Pero es una persecución que empezó
Uy,
en
uy, uy,
la ciudad de
Gustavo.
Alhambra, pero los
¿Escuchas?
oficiales de esa ciudad
¿Estás escuchando,
dejaron ir al
Gustavo?
vehículo porque la
¿Quién
situación se
más habla
había convertido
español?
muy peligrosa, pero
Ivy,
después de eso fue que la policía de Los
Toña,
Ángeles
¿hablas
se
español?
unió a la persecución y ahora son ellos que siguen persiguiendo
And
a estos
Toña,
dos
Tanya,
sospechosos con 6
that's what we
patrullas de la
call
policía
my
junto
brother's
con el
queen.
helicóptero
And her
y
name is
seguimos
Antonia,
aquí
so we call
en
her Tonya. Tanya for
calles
short.
como Main y Adams, aquí en el centro de Los Ángeles, pero por un buen tiempo estuvimos en el área de Westlake y Koreatown y por unos minutos entramos ahí al centro de Los Ángeles, pero ahora continúa la persecución hacia el sur de Los Ángeles.
That is a
Reportando
good
desde el
idea, and
helicóptero, Elian
I'm
Moreno,
sure there's
Telemundo
been
52.
maybe chases that have. I mentioned that
Back with you guys here in English.
day
I
on
was
one of the chases.
just
Might have
saying,
been the other
talking
night. But
about
I'm
some
like,
of the
yeah, they
areas
probably
that
got
we've
off at maybe the
ventured
one I was
into
live
during this
streaming. I
chase.
think
We
I
were in
mentioned something
downtown
like
for
that. Maybe they got
just
off.
about a minute or
They've
two,
been
but we
going
spent a
straight
lot
to
of
the
time in
Twin Towers
Westlake, in
jail.
Koreatown, and now it's the map says Central City. As you can see, it's the Central City section of South Los Angeles. So we're just south of downtown, continuing on Adams toward San Pedro. Coming up to a big intersection here. And again, I'm hearing them talking about potentially laying out some spike strips. They haven't
Perfecto,
said exactly
Gustavo.
where,
So they're
but
thinking of laying down the
they're
spike
not
strips.
considering doing a pit maneuver because they believed that these individuals may still be armed. They were armed when they committed that robbery, so they have to treat it as if they are still armed.
Armed and dangerous. Watch out. So Gerald sent me one earlier this morning, and I didn't have time. I had just gotten to the shop. I was barely
Coming
setting
up to
up,
Central here, eastbound on Adams.
and I was like, darn, all right. So I put it on the phone, and I was checking it out, and that was on the west side of town. So maybe we'll look at that. Even, yeah, it got a little hairy.
This is Central at Adams. Looks like we're turning.
We're making the turn there. Yeah, it got a little hairy, but then safely apprehended. It got a little rough, actually. It took like 5, 6 cops to take this guy down.
So he does still have his lights
White
on,
Mustang.
but one of the headlights, the one on the passenger side, actually doesn't work. And I think one of his tail lights might be out as well. The car looks like a Honda Civic to
My
me, older
voice
model.
is a lot quieter than the news feed.
And
I
this
hear
chase
you,
started
and I'm
now
trying to control the
50
volumes
minutes
here.
ago
And I'll be sure
in
to
the city
speak
of
up.
Alhambra, but
Hopefully
two
that
individuals that are
helps.
wanted by Temple City sheriffs. So what I'm hearing is
Hey,
that
no
officers are
pressure,
trying to
NAC.
confirm
No pressure
how
at all,
many
man.
people
If
are
you
in the
want, I can
car
even
because
maybe
again,
get you a
initially
next
it was
one.
two,
I'll
but
jot you
for
down, and I'll
about a minute they got
put
out
you
of the
on me.
car and then got back in. So it's unclear
And
at
anyone
this
else
point if
out
they
there
both
that,
got back in or just one of them.
is in that type of situation, wants to renew their membership, hit me up.
NOC from the chopper, could you reset the IFB for me before the show? It's a little scratchy. Could I try PV?
Gustavo, tal vez están armando un churro, bro. No sé.
Thank you. So this is Jefferson Avalon. You just heard me talking there to our engineering department because we are getting ready for our newscasts at 11 o'clock. We do have one coming up here on both NBCLA and Telemundo 52.
Está
So, of
en
course, I would love
vivo.
it if you could join us there. But for now, we're going to continue our live stream here as the driver just made that turn on to San Pedro from 31st. And again, LAPD was trying to confirm how many people were in the car because originally this was two men that were wanted for that armed robbery. So they assumed that both of them were inside. And we did hear before we got overhead that the suspects had actually gotten out of the car. So we assumed that they had bailed, and they did for a moment, but then got back in. So at this point, it's unclear if they
Actually, we
both
could
got
jump
back
over
in
there right
because
now.
I
It'll
haven't seen
make
a
this all
passenger.
much more
I've
exciting.
seen the
I'm
driver,
sure he won't mind if
obviously,
we
a
stream him
couple
a
of
bit.
times when he's rolled down his window, so we can tell that he is a what looks to be a younger man.
What's up,
But
paramedic?
in terms of whether there's a
Welcome on in.
passenger, that's really hard to tell. I haven't really had a
And
chance
if
to
at
look,
any
and
point
LAPD hasn't been able to
if you feel
confirm it
like I'm
either.
yelling,
So
let me know too. But
obviously,
I'm
at
trying
least
to
one
speak
person,
loud.
maybe two,
I think it's when I'm
that
trying to
were
speak
wanted for
over
that
the
originally for that original armed
this here
robbery
is when
out
it
of Temple
sounds low,
City that are now leading
especially over
LAPD
her
Central Division
voice. So
officers on what is
I'm
now a
very
very
aware
lengthy
of that,
pursuit. We're almost about an
sound
hour's
man.
time here in the next couple of minutes.
But yeah, let's should we check out Smoke and Scan? I'm sure we'll have a laugh. Anyone up for a little laugh? And maybe a little excitement. Hopefully if this doesn't turn out too bad.
Okay, through me. You're on, Adams.
We'll have a good time over there. So yeah, heads up, we'll be checking out some pretty gnarly stuff later too. So hang tight and let's switch gears here. All right, I gotta do a little navigating here. Let's see. Un momento. Here we go. Big up Smoke and Scan. Check out his channel. Go over there and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Kings didn't look too good against Calgary that last game. I'll be honest. They look really shitty. Calgary looked so young and fast, and they whooped us in our own
Battle,
barn.
yes, it's
Wasn't the
Friday
way I
night,
wanted
man,
to finish
and
the
it's
season.
been
But
nonstop all week.
it is what
It's
it
been,
is.
I honestly, I
So,
think it's about 10 of them.
didn't change
And
anything with the
throughout the
standing.
week, there was one also the other
Since
night.
their shot's so dark, we'll go back. I
Lamborghini,
mean, they're back a little bit.
yeah,
Right next to
Lambo. We'll
USC,
check
guys.
that one out,
Right next to the
and
Trojans' home.
we're gonna finish watching this one here. Once again, watching Smoke and
The
Scan,
condoms.
one of my favorite channels for this type of stuff. He also does a
Lakers gonna beat the
city
T-Wolves? I don't
council
know.
meeting,
I just got a
LA city council meeting. He
big
calls
cat
it,
auto. I got a
and he
big cat
streams
auto
the
redemption that I've
council
been waiting
meetings
for
and also
literally
from
2 years.
maybe other
2
states
years. They
sometimes.
sent it finally.
Definitely
Carl
a
Anthony
must.
Towns just
The
finally
LA
decided
ones,
to
gotta check that out.
sign his cards. Only 2 years later, Billy. And I just got it today. So I don't know. We'll see. No notification? Man, oh man, that's YouTube for you.
Roger that, Pyromedic. Yep. They
Man, what am
did
I
get
doing? I'm not
away.
even wearing my hat. No, nobody
You
even said
believe that?
anything to me.
You know,
Man,
it's
what's
been
wrong with y'all?
a theme with the chases
I'm blaming
lately.
you. I mean, really,
And
I'm blaming
I
all
get
of
it.
you
When they
guys
get
right
really
now.
dangerous,
That's all on you.
you immediately back off and let them go. But yeah, that guy did the whole spin around the city a few times, and then did the troll disappearing trick under the bridge.
Fern 520. Thank you so much
Amazing.
for the dono.
In that pickup truck.
Y'all gotta step it up a notch. You're a stoner.
And that's his cat.
Hey, at least I
right.
recognize it. Y'all didn't even recognize what y'all should have been recognizing. What happened to 4? Force feed done, died out. Died out. Died out. All right, let's go to 11's up. Watch 11.
LA outing. I'll check that out. Yeah, and if the battle, I don't know. Do you have a wrench? I'm not sure if you have a wrench. Let's see if I could tap into the stream here.
Too bad, man.
So you could post links as well, you know? I always encourage that.
See, we already went up 300 people because of the hat. Oh, the hat. People just love the hat. You know,
yeah, post them.
Kind of like Uncle Buck.
Don't be shy.
You know, it angers me. It angers some people. This hat.
Yeah, here we go. Tapping in. All right. Yeah, the battle got a wrench. NAC doesn't have one. We trust NAC.
Need the robot sound?
Hold
on, what a robot. You're right there.
Tanya.
I can't even hear myself.
She's still in here. She's in there. What is this message? Usually people get a notification when you
blasted by him.
The tool, right? Checking for anyone else.
Clear. L60, be advised, there's a vehicle following L220.
So these guys are waiting on the sideline there.
Uh-oh. So we got a stringer or we got somebody who may be trying to pick them up. Who knows? All right, let's see.
Can you hear me? Oh, boy, let's get up in there, robot. Oh, robot.
Roll.
Robot. Robot. Robot.
Always the fucking Dodges. Always, bro.
Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud.
Of course, Tanya. Cheers. Yeah, I'm surprised
Still
you did it
doing
already. And I'm
fraud.
glad
My
that I could
shirt's
pop
in
in
there.
and do that.
In the closet.
Yeah,
If I get up,
feel
Stinks
free
is
to
gonna
post
leave,
any
so.
links, Tanya. If you have a
I know you guys
channel
wanna
that you
see
want
it.
people to check out, let us know. And if there's
As a
any other
spotlight, I'm gonna
channels
say it's a
or any
string.
other
articles,
articles, or anything like that, or if you're on a different platform,
following the supervisor.
alienated.
Too dark.
Alienated Productions.
Ready for Sergeant Slaughter. That's it.
House. Right? Oh man.
Oh yeah, Hellcats coming to town.
You live by USA in 2020.
Avs, Oilers,
I
Western
had this
Conference
chase
Final.
go
You're
by
calling
me.
it
I
now,
was
huh? Okay.
new to LA, and this truck comes
Good. So
barreling
you're counting
down,
out my fucking my games.
and let me
I
see,
see you,
barreling
dog.
down the
Okay.
street and
All good.
forced me off. Oh
Remember that.
no!
Remember to
And
rub
then
it in your face, Lone.
I can't
I'm
read
writing your
that
name
part.
down
Parking
right
spot,
now.
and this cadre of cops come by. Oh yeah, yeah. I've
Kings
seen a
and
lot of them.
Six.
I've explained that I grew up
You heard it first. Kings and Six.
the 101 freeway, one of the Sunset exit would either spit you straight out into our small street.
No,
there,
neither of them have a
or you can make the
SUV.
left onto Wilton Place,
Unless they
or
think
make a
that's
right
Scott.
onto Wilton Place, or there was this
They
curve
think it's an
that would take you
SUV.
and spit you out onto Sunset Boulevard. So
White.
a lot of speed chasing would
Oh,
come
dude, if
zooming
they're
out of
talking
there,
about Scott
and
right
they
now,
can't
I'm
make
gonna
that
die.
left or right to go on either. So they go
Not a
straight
whole
down
lot.
our street.
Six. Not a whole lot.
Wild, many
I mean,
times.
sometimes I break down, have some fun, and watch it. You know. Definitely not someone like my friends. I have some friends that are like super
Roger
hard.
that, Knack. No
They
problem.
get
Use it
together every
wisely.
WrestleMania, SummerSlam, all that
And
shit.
for the
Order
new wrenches,
pizzas
may
and
the
smoke
force
and
be
have
with
fun
you.
and watch it together. And you know, pretty cool experience. They enjoy it. Me, I'm not like that. I mean, I loved it as a kid in the golden era, for sure.
And for the most part, most of you know how we get down here. We
And I got into it a little
enjoy
bit because I was
sharing
opening the
serious
cards. You
information.
know, you kind of need to know who the hot,
and
you know,
sometimes enjoy having
wrestlers are.
a good
You know
laugh.
what I mean? So that way you can
Of course, if you ever feel
price
like anything is out of
appropriately,
hand with anyone in
you
chat,
know, or at least you, or when you're picking
lay
like a,
down the
sometimes you
law.
have like a,
Or you
like a
feel like
draft.
anything that may endanger the channel,
You know, they'll
hey,
open everything up,
get
and
them
you're
out.
like number 2, so you get to pick whatever card you want at the 2 slot. So you need to know,
Don't be
you
scared.
know, who's the good person to pick. You know? Fun thing about the
Whoa, we
wrestling cards
spook
is
'em
there's a lot of
from
men and
Spook 'em.
women that sell for a lot of money.
It's been a long time.
You know what I mean?
Good to see you. All right.
A lot of wrestling fans out there
Not
like
really
that.
from Spook 'em.
Like
I
their
just thought it
certain
rhymed,
wrestlers.
so I would always say that.
Say they're like right
You know,
even with each
it
other.
is a
right now.
squatchy spot.
It's 2. 48th and Danker. Yeah, they're even. Like these two that we're watching.
Western 254.
Dead even. Different angle.
And there it is, Ninja Dave. Yeah,
A little
Ninja
different
Dave
angle
has a
on it.
channel.
But nonetheless,
Maybe that's what
dead
that is
even.
there.
Canadians in 6. Fully
And we won't,
pitted,
we won't
dude.
mind. We won't get into the links
That'd
with
be a good
cookies.
one, yeah. Oh,
We've done that
you
quite
gotta
a few
get
times.
fully
You
pitted.
know, I try to avoid clicking on them, but
Bob, bang,
they're
Bob.
good.
What he describes when he gets hit by the wave or whatever. Bob, bang, ching.
Yeah, yeah.
This Scott, I
Luke 'em.
bet it might be.
I don't even know
he's a pit bull with it.
if you have an idea that I'm in Southern California now. I think the
He's
last
shy
time,
about driving the car.
who knows,
Even
maybe
if
I was
there's cops
still up in
around.
NorCal, maybe Oregon.
I told you, we
Where
pulled
was
up
I the last
in a
time
chase
we
next to the chase
hung
guy.
out?
With
Hopefully you're
next
well.
to
What,
the
are you
suspect.
somewhere new?
I told you, we have it on film. I could see his car from the chopper feed. So I could see us in there.
Approaching Normandy.
Nah,
And I
no,
always
he's
say
fine.
these
We were watching
chases,
him
it's
a little
amazing.
earlier.
It seems
I'm just
like
waiting for
they
it to
always
finish
have
live
full tank of
top.
gas.
You know, I mean
because they could just
the
go
helicopter
on
view.
forever and ever.
Because we only get 31 more
And I
minutes,
say,
depending
you
on
know,
how long this goes. They're
I
all
couldn't
going to bug
afford
out in
a
31
speed
minutes. So
chase
then we'll
either.
go down to the ground.
I wouldn't have enough
Pocket
gas.
closes in 31 minutes. All right, let's get the post time for 8. No too big. After 11:30, there's no. After
Especially with
11:30.
these gas prices, like, man, these dudes.
Oh, they try to spike them right there.
How do they do it? Well, I see how the guy the other day did it. He
Again,
switched
see?
trucks.
Try to
That's
speak,
probably
yeah.
why he's like, oh, this truck's low on gas. Let's get
11:30 is when.
the one with the full
11:30
tank,
is when
boys.
they stop showing the news. News is over, and then all their late night shows start. All the late night, you know, talk shows tonight. You know, that kind of shit. The Tonight Show, that kind of old crap, all that. So they all go there. They're not going to interrupt that because there's a lot of advertising there for this.
Audience 2029 is in pursuit of an armed 211 suspect. Now westbound gauge.
What's going on? Javier handing out tacos in chat.
And honestly, I don't think
Going
they
on,
really
Javier?
care much about just broadcasting it on their internet. Like, they don't care. Like, their site doesn't do much for them, I don't believe. Versus obviously the hundreds of millions of dollars.
Which
in
one's that
advertising.
one? That's not. Which one's the one? Yeah, no.
Correction,
I'm
blue
thinking
Honda,
of
Sonata license plate 9, Edward
the one
Lincoln,
with
Mary
Keanu
960, Edward
Reeves
Lincoln,
and
Mary 960.
Sandra Bullock. They're on the bus. That's a whole other movie. But Chase,
Yeah, all those
I don't
idiot
remember
shows.
that
Exactly.
one. I have to
exactly, Jamie.
Southbound Western on Porter Floor.
download those.
So, and I
files
don't
if
think,
got 'em.
look, they still haven't grasped
Trying to
the
think.
internet yet. Like, they just don't realize the power of
I'll
it.
look it up.
Because otherwise, they would just put it on their internet channel and you'd go there and watch it until it ended. But they don't. They're done.
Yeah, Knack.
I mean, they don't have
even
to
knows about that.
Plan the choppers because of certain time, you know, because of noise ordinances, and they can fly all night apparently.
You'd be surprised.
No
Some
problem.
of these guys
They
do.
just have to follow the other FAA rules, of course. But, yeah. I just don't think they see the value in it. Maybe I don't know. It's a great ratings grab for the moment. You know what I mean?
And a big up to Izzy Scott on YouTube. Friends with Scully Pop.
Northbound Van Ness,
Yeah, she bought me a membership for Scully Pop's channel.
They do,
Much
DT.
appreciate it. Much love to you.
Trust me,
And
there's
she
people
subscribed-
still watching
subscribed
lots
back.
of TV shows.
And yeah, she does a lot of cool work for him. Much love to everyone buying memberships out there. There's several of you who bought memberships. So I'm a
So
member
that changes.
of several channels.
Even I don't think it would change. They just change the
I
person.
appreciate that.
You know what I mean? Still have the show, still have the slot.
And big up
Change
to
the
the new
person.
members here as well. Let's see if we check that out. There's several of you. Welcome
Northbound
in.
Van Ness 265 approaching gate.
If they was smart, they'd hire Smoking Scan. But we know they ain't smart. I don't know what this guy gonna do, man. All his boys
Taking
done
us for a
bailed,
ride, that's for sure.
just delaying the inevitable.
Eastbound there in Collins Street. 62. Eastbound 62.
6-7.
Now eastbound 62 from Van Ness.
67.
420 coming up, right? So
If he sees it.
it's okay to
Run out
celebrate.
90. If we can use spike strips, use them. This guy's just driving around the block.
I did, Fregoso. Fregoso.
190 authorized by ship.
I did. They actually sent it. Here we go.
3 a.m.
Oh, I thought I was gonna spike him right there. Did he get him? Oh, he did. No.
Let's see, did they deploy spikes?
He ain't finna care. We gonna see the sparks. That's my favorite.
Northbound Van Andrews from 62. Front right tire as well on suspect vehicle.
Love seeing them sports. Oh,
Yeah, the front right and the left looks like they're low. And eastbound 60 reaching western.
Eastbound 60 to western suspect vehicle. Front right and left tires are low.
H&W, thank
Or
you.
northbound western from 60
Thank you,
struggling now on the turn. Looks like both those front tires are up.
I don't know. It looks pretty good.
Northbound 60 from western.
Mike, cheers, brother. Good to see you. Are you ready?
Thank you, H&W again.
And northbound western.
I'm sure Damon. So that's Oh,
Northbound western to Slauson.
that way. Yeah.
They can see the tires from
That's
up there.
Damon up there.
Pineapple. I mean, some of these
We'll
helicopters
see
have
if he
really
gets
great
a
cameras.
round
You know,
ready here.
not to mention sometimes they use binoculars. They have like these binoculars that you can hit it and it doesn't like jiggle. It stabilizes them. And it's difficult. I got to be honest. I got to look at some while I was up there for a moment. It actually almost gets you dizzy. At least it did for me for a moment. I had to pull out because you're moving. You're moving and you're trying to look at an object, and I don't know. It was weird. It was foreign to me. So I had to pull back and then use it and kind of calmly use it. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
From western.
Westbound Terra 51 from western.
Hi, Ann. How are you? I know what round it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Round 8.
Yoga, fire, yoga, lane.
Smoke.
And away
Yeah,
they
Luke
go
him
to a
out.
good beginning.
You
Northbound
out,
Terra 50
Luke?
from western.
Good to see you. Take care of yourself.
And then quick right
Yeah.
eastbound.
Yeah,
coming
feel
back
free to
towards the
flow in
left.
and out, y'all. Don't feel locked down here at all. I don't do
Eastbound
that.
Terra from west.
I don't play that.
It's got a Popeye car now.
But we do
Only
appreciate
one
a
light.
thumbs up if you have some thumbs.
Southbound now.
Downtown South St. Andrews.
Tickle the
Staying
algorithm.
pretty much in the same place. You know, big box. It's just driving in.
Make a right turn, guys. Right turn is westbound. It's like spot 2 from St. Andrews.
Right turn now westbound 52 from St. Andrews.
Think he's going to get out and run? Well, I did say that earlier. Maybe he'd run into a building when he was in the Westlake area. We're on 50th and Gramercy. Wow, all-seeing eye. Jeez.
Impressive.
Big dono. Let's go, all-seeing eye. Thank you.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
it.
He just got a donation. All seeing eye.
Southbound
cool name.
Thank you. All seeing eye, thank you. Very nice, very kind of you. Trading crypto as you smoke. You already made $14. Shit, yeah, it's better losing $14. What's he gonna do here? What's he gonna do? What you
Going to
gonna
mom's
do when
house.
they come for you? They're coming, bro.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want? See, I got this problem. Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops.
Who is that? Does anybody know what character that was?
Anybody? Anyone? Who was that?
There you go, Kelly. Clarence Boddicker. That was red from fucking that 70s show. It was from RoboCop.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night. Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think brother William Nighthawk was showing who is it? Was it Motorola or something like that?
59th and Van Ness.
Fuji.
Where we at?
Someone's
just
putting
cruising
out
the hood.
These like robo dogs. They already have the like robo dogs. We've seen them used.
Hopefully it goes back to Figueroa so we can see some ladies and pick up a hooker.
I'd buy that for $1.
Are we going around the same block or is he showing the same footage again? What's going on here? That looked familiar.
Uh-oh. Huh? Dang, it's disabled. Fuck. He's running. God damn it.
Oh yeah, they're showing a replay here, possibly. Unless we're going around the block again. And then they took the camera off, it sounds like.
I'm gonna go with this one here. There you go.
Look,
because it's a little more light. Oh.
Find out how much.
How did he get stuck in there? He got stuck. This fool hit the tree. Oh, tree! This clown hit the tree.
Unit code 662
What a
on Van
dummy.
Ness. Watch for a gray vehicle and a blue pickup that pulled into the direction. 1LDC advisors to respond. Code 3 to direct.
Oh boy, what a dummy!
182 Roger.
Hit the fucking tree.
See how it
Dude.
goes down here. Heads
George
up.
of the jungle over here. I thought he said he ran. I didn't see any run. I didn't see anybody running. Jerk off did hit the roots of the tree. Ah, what a fucking idiot.
What an idiot. Oh, what a loser.
His hands are on the window. I see him. I see his hands on the window. I can't get out, Billy. I can't get out.
Shit.
Oh man, what a jerk.
Ninja Dave needs a taco. Just seen that.
Oh.
Un taco para Ninja Dave, por favor.
I can approach the car.
Con todo.
the ballistic shield.
Sí, salsa
Plus they have
también,
to go
picosa.
hands on.
Charlie 23 also closing the termination of pursuit with the shield.
Bud
Right,
Green,
Ninja
she should be
Dave?
honored because it was
What's
probably
going
killed
on
with the
here?
same one that he used.
Right? This is just the first one for tonight. There's probably one we gotta check. We gotta make sure and check.
Same
Could
sound
be other
studio.
popping off while this is happening.
Official units at the termination of pursuit 6 to event.
See him hanging out.
Uh-oh,
please
he's
fall.
coming out.
Please chase God. Please chase God. I need to see him fall coming out of there.
Hands up.
Just give me a little treat for the weekend.
Come out with your
Please
hands
chase
up.
God. Viewer discretion is advised too, guys. Like I said. Ah, dang. Didn't fall.
Climb up the tree.
Shout out to all the peppies you guys are putting in there on Kick. I love Peppy. There should be a car chase, Peppy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Pineapple, they're going to hold him back. And that's another reason, like I said, why I'm going to use there's a method to my madness. You know, I love these dudes and do all this shit and use everybody's feed. And, you know what I mean? Get everybody in here ping pong and back and forth. It's not an issue of that. It's just what's best for the show at that point. See the
he just
video from
mentioned he
above and then
uses
get the
other
ground
people's
shots.
feeds as well, like we're doing right now. So
Yes,
hopefully,
he's an armed
Nano,
robbery suspect.
pretty sure.
Apparently, they were wanted
Yeah,
for a
never
few
mind.
robberies, and I
As
know
well as
they
the
caught
other
2
stringers we'll be checking out.
runners that came out of
So
this
this one's a
car
wrap.
earlier. Don't know if they caught all of them.
And
There might have been 3.
yeah, we'll switch gears. Here.
Suck. I will
Let's see. Thank you, Smoke and Scan. Yeah, check out Smoke and Scan, y'all. Maybe someone will pull up his link in the chat there. But since we're on the subject of speed chases, there was a gnarly one the other day. I was mentioning right after the one we streamed with also a similar white truck, which we'll check out here. What up, Dogman Central? Yeah, it didn't end good. So just a heads up with that. And this is you know, an article from the internet. I believe there's a news reel with it. So warning to everyone, because this one did not end pretty. So we're gonna check that out here. I was gonna go live when all that happened, but it was just all happening so fast I wasn't ready to go. And again, Smoke and Scan did cover it. So it was interesting to watch over on his channel, and we'll check that out here now. I believe I have that ready to go. Let's see here. Yeah, and it's been nonstop this week. Again, I mentioned it's been like 10, I want to say. Not pretty close to that. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's more. And yeah, we'll get into some other current events also happening. Some couple new Bigfoot reports we'll get into here. And yeah, this is happening here in Los Angeles at the moment. That's why I call it Lost Angeles. Let's see here. Where are we going? We're gonna check out that chase right here. So heads up, this is ABC News 7. Go full screen here. And we'll put some volume on that. Boom. Here we go.
11. Anaheim police in hot pursuit of a white pickup. The initial call, assault with a deadly weapon. Reporter Chris
This
Christie
is
overhead and
yesterday.
Air
Then
7
after
calling
the
it all.
chase,
Eastbound
when
Memory
Strange
Lane.
pulled
Here
the
comes
shot,
another pit maneuver attempt, and there he goes,
later that
spinning out
evening,
of control into the wall. The vehicle
and yeah,
making
this
the
is
left
towards
swerve
the end.
and
It was going
continuing
on for
on
quite a
now
bit
into the
again.
other wall, right into the center
Like
divider
one
there.
earlier,
And here come all of those black and whites ready
and
to
you can
execute a
see
felony stop as
here
the vehicle is now
they
smoking.
let off.
Lots of smoke coming from underneath the hood. The vehicle appears to be disabled. They're
And
shooting.
eventually
They're
went up.
shooting.
It
They
began with a
waited for
report
like
of a
10
person
minutes,
shot in the stomach at the Kona Motel on Brookhurst Street in
and
Anaheim. Responding units spotting a fleeing white pickup, and the chase was
no one
on.
came out
The
of the
shooting
car, and then
suspect
eventually someone
refusing to
came out
pull
of
over.
the
Here comes a black
passenger
and white
side,
along the right rear, trying to spin
and
the
they
truck out
didn't
of
give him any
control. A
medical
failed
treatment.
pit
Look, they
maneuver
tried the
attempt
pit
there.
maneuver
The
right
fleeing
here.
driver eventually getting trapped in busy traffic at a red
Look at
light.
this.
Trying to squeeze through here.
Bad idea.
Lots of traffic at this red light. We're at Lincoln Avenue, southbound State College Boulevard.
And the guy came crawling out.
That white pickup truck right there just got rammed by that unit, that SUV unit. Look at that. That SUV slamming right into the driver's side, trying to push him onto the curb, right in between those vehicles, and he keeps on going.
Right.
Now continuing southbound on State College Boulevard.
CHP and
No
Anaheim
go
police
on the
units
pit
working in tandem
maneuver
to try to
there.
bring this dangerous pursuit to an end. Moments later, on a deserted stretch of road, they get their chance.
Here comes another pit maneuver attempt, and there he goes, spinning out of control into the wall. The vehicle making the left swerve and continuing on now into the other wall, right into the center divider there.
And then, shots fired.
Shots fired. Shots have been fired at the driver's seat of that pickup truck. Multiple shots fired. That front windshield appears to be shattered. It's hard to tell from this distance, but it looks like those bullets have gone right through the front windshield. Looks like that passenger side door is open and somebody has just exited the vehicle on the passenger side. Now with their hands up, walking backwards in the direction of those officers.
The passenger quickly handcuffed and arrested. And a short time later, officers moving in and removing the driver, performing CPR. But that driver could not be saved. New ground video just in showing the aftermath of all the violence. Bullet holes clearly visible in the driver's side door and all across the windshield of that wrecked white pickup.
We begin with breaking news. The resentencing hearing for Eric and Lyle Menendez has been postponed indefinitely, and now the lawyer for the brothers wants the LA district attorney tossed off the case. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes joins us live from Van Nuys outside the courthouse. Rob, it was a drama-filled day with tempers flaring.
Yeah, a lot of new twists as well. First, there's that comprehensive risk assessment on the brothers, and then
I get
today
that here
the
all the
Menendez
time
brothers
too.
attorney in the courtroom
you'll hear
said
the
he is
chopper.
moving to have the district
And, yeah, we
attorney's
hear the
office
chases go
completely
by here,
removed from the
and
resentencing process.
I totally
What was supposed to be a resentencing hearing turned into a heated procedural spat. Back in February, Governor Gavin Newsom ordered the state parole board to do a comprehensive
Earlier
risk
today,
assessment of
there's
the
that whole
Menendez brothers. He wanted to know if Lyle and Eric
Menendez bros. Let's see. Let me get out of here right quick. Make sure I got all these turned off there. All right, yeah, still got one on. Where you at? Where'd you go? There you are. Had to turn that off. Yeah, so that was a fatal one there. You could check that out over on Smoke and Scan as well. Interesting how the chat was going when all that was happening. Yeah, scary stuff. And there was another fatal one. We could look up here. Let's see. That was I think last night. Let's see, PCH. On PCH, which is Pacific Coast Highway, and this one was with the motorcyclist. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, it's not pulling it up here. And I don't know why. Sort of have trouble with this search engine sometimes. It throws up a bunch of stuff. Let's try yesterday. Yeah, I don't see anything. Weird. Sure, if I Google it, it'll come up. I'm sure on, let's see, maybe one of the, try here on YouTube. Yeah, we'll scratch that. I'm sure you believe me. There was the one with the Lamborghini, which is another wild one, ended not too far from here as well. And they were going in on this guy, and yeah, that one's DUI. And yeah, just makes you wonder what's up, you know. You got the Lambo, he had the Louis Vuitton, like everyone was commenting on his shoes, how expensive his shoes were and everything, and just acting all crazy. He drove by a accident scene, nearly got into that. And so yeah, just wildness. We'll get back into some of the stringers here. But we do have some squatchy business to get into. Let's get into some of that. We'll get into the Bigfoot mapping project here really quick. They got a couple new reports up. And for those new or who haven't been tapping in lately, yeah, we've been checking out Bigfoot reports from the BFRO and this website called the Bigfoot Mapping Project. And they've had a couple questionable reports that we flagged, but we've still been checking out the site. I do dig it. Pretty interactive. So check it on out if you haven't. We checked on this Cali one here recently. And then there's two new ones that I could tell. We touched on this one out of Texas, East Texas as well. But there's one here, this orange one is new. I noticed that a couple days ago, and then looks like a new one today up here in southern Wisconsin. So we'll get into this one over here. I think it's on the Missouri side, right on the board, pretty much the border of Arkansas and Missouri. We're gonna zoom in. Hopefully, are you able to see that on your end there? All right, just gonna double check. Welcome to anyone in the chat. All right, so you got Springfield up there. What's that? Joplin. Just checking out some of the nearest towns there on the Missouri side. And you got the Ozarks National Scenic Riverways off to the right there a bit. But let's see what this area is here. I see a Table Rock Lake. We'll click on the report here. Let's see. It says 414. So a lot of new reports coming in lately. And I see some angel numbers popping up. So 4/14/2025, 11/11. Yep, you got it. They're your angel numbers. 11/11. It says height 9 feet, sex male. They must have seen something. Vocalization, yes. So I'm zooming out there. And it says describe your encounter, and it says he's real. Yikes. Footprints, no. No wood knocks, no additional comments. Color was black. All right. Short and to the point there. Just like that one from California that I was pointing out there. It was just like rocks thrown. And I was like, all right. We'll take that. I think this Texas one was a little more in depth with the report there. Now we're gonna head north over to Wisconsin. We'll zoom on in there. Let's see. Just want to make sure you're able to see. And there's Madison, which is a place I'd like to check out. You know, Madison is one of those places that the missing 411 phenomenon was happening at, you know, the sobering coincidence episodes. For anyone not familiar with that, is where they're finding young men in bodies or near bodies of water, usually in bodies of water. A lot of times they were leaving either parties or bars, so there was drinking involved, and they go missing, and then, you know, a lot of times it'll be days later. They're mysteriously found in bodies of water. Sometimes they're in areas they don't even know how they got in because they'll be like fenced, but they'll be found in like a reservoir or like there'll be a river or all types of stuff. And sometimes they were finding levels of GHB in some of the bodies, which is a whole other topic that I want to get into. Um, yeah, because I've questioned, you know, there's the 411 phenomenon, but there seems to be different uh tentacles to the 411 phenomenon, right? If it's, you know, if it's all real. But yeah, the sobering coincidence thing I think is very different to some of the stuff that's happening in national parks. It could be the same phenomenon, but it seems to, I don't know, you know, some of these guys, like I said, they seem to be almost like stalked inside of the bars or the parties, and they're followed out somehow to something invisible or who knows. But yeah, this is one of those areas where it's happening. And who is it? Colin and all them from Paranormal Files have done some stuff. I don't know. Was it if they? I don't know. I think he's from Wisconsin, and they were recently one of their videos. They were at one of the location sites where some of the stuff was happening, and I love their investigations. And yeah, it just kind of led me to believe, like, I don't know. It almost seems like that town was in on it or something. That'd be scary as hell. Let's check out this Bigfoot report here. Let's see. No date or time of sighting, no height, no sex, no. Oh, yeah, all right. There is a vocalization. Cool. Yeah. And then they mark that little disclaimer part. Yes. It says describe your encounter. My neighbor Joey was hunting with his dad when he heard a sound like the roar from Predator. Ooh. Yeah, a lot more of those predator type reports coming up. We've been mentioning that with the whole, you know, they call it the glimmer man, the predator effect, the cloaking. What is that? Is that a Sasquatch? Is it some other type of entity or being? Do we have that type of technology already? ZETs. No additional comments. No color. And that is that. So a couple new short reports there. Thank you to the Bigfoot Mapping Project. And earlier this week, we also, since we're talking Bigfoot right now, we had a little shaker here in SoCal. I don't know if any of you felt it. I didn't feel it, but I did get the alert on my phone, which is always scary. And let's see, got a message here. My buddy told me that about your channel. Yeah, Browndover's named David up in Mendo. What up, David in Mendo? He told me about a friend of his that went missing. Classic shoes gone, clothes folded up neatly, car on fire. Whoa. Missing in the South Bay. Damien LeBeau. All right, we're gonna remember that. Actually, I'm taking a screenshot right here with my phone. Got that, and I appreciate that big time. The battle. I'll be looking into that, and yeah, trippy. Yeah, Mendocino. I don't know if you checked out there was several live streams that we did touching on Mendocino. Hopefully, you're there to check that out. If not, peep them out. They're not too far back. On the live sections of the channel, and I did title them Mendocino. So Mendocino, it'll be saying Mendocino something, Mendocino missing, or Mendocino Bigfoot. So there's some nights we focused on Bigfoot, and others we did missing people, and it got pretty interesting. And we're gonna be continuing to touch on those places because there's a lot more. And you know what? We got a second chase going on. Y'all want to tap back in? Let's check this out. This is nuts. I can't believe it. Here we go. Let's pull up Smoke and Scan again here. And I see AXN News there, which is one of the stringers. There's Smoke and Scan. Let's go. Let's see. So we need to go over here.
It's not. Broadway. Speed at 40. Light traffic.
All right, everybody. Time for
Round 9. Smoke.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my my smoke ready here too. Need to reload. So another chase
I don't
here.
know why you
y'all.
even answer him. He can't read. Fuck it.
Chase number 2.
Fuck.
Okay. How many? Can I ask again how many units I have behind the vehicle? Do I have 3 still?
7
or
up?
2?
Oh, they are up.
Yeah, we'll keep digging, Brother Battle, for sure. And hopefully we can find something.
Number 1 lane, speed at 45. Light traffic.
Anyone out there got cases
How many speeds at 45 light
share like
traffic?
that? Strange ones, or maybe even some that are more along criminal.
You think he's a street racer?
You'd
I
like
don't
to
know.
check
Could be.
out,
Could be one from
yeah,
from a
feel
side
free.
show.
420 secondary.
Acting a
Share
fool,
an email
driving
here in a
stupid.
sec.
Wouldn't pull over.
And welcome on in,
That happens.
Michael. You're
And they are out on
got
Friday
popcorn
nights.
ready? All
So
right.
you might be right. It's a big night for the side
Good to
shows.
see you, Brother Michael. Oh, watch out.
Okay, 21, do you have an update?
We're going to be eastbound Florence from Seville. And he's circling the block here, so I would be ready for him to bail out. Looks like he's looking for somewhere to and vehicles be coming to a stop on Florence just east of traffic.
Tommy's, let's get it, man.
Tommy's Burgers. Tommy's original burgers.
I love Tommy's,
They're
bro.
approaching the vehicle. Stand by.
Copy, officers approaching vehicle.
Anyone ever had Tommy's original
In
burger?
Infinity.
They're known for their
Still going.
their
Little
chili.
HP. See the difference in delay?
Original
There's the
one on
Tommy's.
Rampart
Unless he came back around again.
and Beverly, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Looping Toms. I want to loop Tommy's.
And that Tommy's chili will have you. Here we go. Viewer discretion.
Who's the hero?
Ooh.
Who's the hero who blocked him in the white car? Oh, dang. Dang it. Fucking hero.
Take off, eh?
And now you move. And now you move. Damn it. Well, they caught him.
I'm sure we'll get another one tonight. Let's see, we should get a poll.
Bro, looks like he
going.
got an
How do-
Edgar
how do I
do
do
also. Man, it's Edgar
that? I
night.
learn how to do polls here.
Let's get it.
Change over to the white.
Bro.
You eat enough Tommy's, and let me tell you,
Looks like he was the only one.
Sometimes switching back to the white.
well, it wasn't the tree this time. This time it was the white car.
They got some. And so, look, it's 11:40 right now. So we're lucky to get this. You know what I mean? Wonder if Scott and them are over there, like they went over. Let me see.
I haven't checked exactly the money, but I know they are hurting bad for
moving,
recruits.
so.
There's been recent
Let's see.
ads, I guess you could say, that the news stations have been they've done news
He is moving.
segments on it,
Let's see where.
looking for recruits and saying they got
watch
new
Shout out to Rob
positions, a lot
Gluckman.
of AI stuff, and
Rob.
different things that might be interesting to those that are into the computers and stuff.
AXN's just wrong.
Oh
too.
man, it sucks. It sucks that that
I didn't think
there's
they
a
could
shortage of that.
film that
JR
first
needed.
one
I
and then
don't
get to
know.
this one fast enough. You know what I mean?
All this wildness needs to stop.
He's going to the Gray Bar Hotel for tonight.
And, you ain't got
Air
the
5-1 on the blue.
power.
Metro Air, baby.
It's gonna get worse. I think.
There we go.
All right, that was that. Thank you again, Smoke and
Dallas.
Scan. We'll stay tuned.
There's AXN. Give me a sec here.
And he's about to go tap in with AXN. We'll check out AXN here in a bit. Let's see. We were talking Sasquatch. Where were we? Oh, yeah. So, not sure where we were, but I could pick it up at that. We've been having quite a bit of shaking going on in California, period. Yeah, Southern California got shooken up with another earthquake recently. Earlier this week, I think it was. I got the alert, which is always kind of creepy when you get it. And I didn't feel anything, luckily. It was a 5.2, I believe. And it was out of San Diego though. And I was like, whoa, pretty far out. People felt it here in LA. And my nephew, he was explaining, which I heard someone else also share, that he got the alert first and then he felt the shaking. And I don't know if it was because maybe it was off at a distance that they were able to alert us first and then, then we felt it. But that was pretty interesting. And so I was like, oh, San Diego, all right. And I believe there was some damage. I seen people post some videos about like damage and checking out things after the earthquake and stuff. So I didn't really check all that out. But I did look into where it happened, and I'm not sure if anyone else felt it out there. Um, it was out of Julian, California, and I was like, "What Julian? I don't really know Julian, but like I've never been to Julian, but I've heard of it." And I thought it was interesting. I was like, "Okay, Julian, where do I remember Julian from?" And it was from, I believe it was one of the Small Town Monster series. Eli Watson, that's his neck of the hood, his neck of the woods, and it was his Bigfoot by the border. If anyone check that out, it's a good one. And he's done quite a few Southern California Bigfoot episodes, which is awesome because you know you don't hear much at a SoCal, but there is a lot, and he's been digging up a lot of stuff. And so there's this episode, Bigfoot by the border, and he checks out a property. Goes with this guy, checks out a property where they're having activity, and I'm not sure if it's that guy, but and also then the episode they get into the Zoobies. Anyone heard of the Zoobies? Yeah, San Diego Sasquatches. They get into the Zoobies, and I believe they talk about Julian in that episode. If it's not that episode, it is that Chiro Sounds? What's up, Chi? Did you miss both? We just had two high-speed chases, Chi. Hopefully you caught one of them, or at least two. But it's been a hot night, and I'm thinking we'll probably get another one. Go for the hat trick, eh? Um, but yeah, Julian came up, and that's how I remember Julian. And I was like, oh wow! And they were awesome episodes. I love all those Southern California episodes again, even the ones where they go up into the Sierras here. Um, let's give you an idea what I'm talking about. Let's see here. Boom. And that is it right there. You see that one on top? Oh yeah, that's the dude right there too. I don't know if this is this guy's property, but if you get to this part, and again, yeah, recommended from Dwarf. Yeah, this dude's got some gnarly stuff going on his property there, and I wonder if he's in Julian. But yeah, I think Julian does get mentioned in this episode here. So who knows? Maybe someone would share that in the, or I could do it, right? Y'all gonna make me work? Maybe someone in the chat could do it, but maybe post a link for this if you're interested in checking it out. And of course, they got a whole other lineup of stuff. But yeah, Julian, California. So that's where the earthquake. So I started going down the Julian rabbit hole. I was like, oh yeah, Sasquatch activity in Julian. And again with the earthquakes, even up in Humboldt, recent shaker up there again. Don't forget they had one a 7.1 or 2. Was that late last year? It was a huge one. And so things, shaking up there, shaking down here. The whole state is shaking right now. Heads up. Get those surfboards ready. Because we might be ripping some waves here soon. So yeah, Julian. And so I was like, all right, Julian, let's go and see what else we could find. Bigfoot related and Julian. And really quick, what we could do is also pull up the googly earth. Flat earth there. And all right, ready to go right here already. Boom. Tapped into Julian. Whoops. Gonna take us. There he is. Close these little windows here. Let's see. Julian is a census designated place in San Diego County, California. As of the 2020 census, the population was 1,768, up from 1,502 at the time of the 2010 census. Julian is an official California historical landmark. Wonder if they got some old worlders and mud flooders there. Oh, bummer. It had the county outline there, or I mean the area outline there in red. Sure you're able to see that. Took it off when I closed that box, but yeah, look, you got some mountains here. Let's see. Got a nice range there. I'm not sure what range that is. We'll take a look in a second. I do believe, let's see. I want to say Cleveland National Forest might pop up. Zoom in on Julian. There's the Eagle Mining Company. The Orinoco Creek. Interesting. There's the Orinoco River in Venezuela. Let's see. San Felipe Valley Wildlife Area. I'm trying to see banner. I'm going to cruise down a little bit. Vulcan Mountain County Preserve. And it's all desert on this side. I believe that's, let's see if it pops up. Ranchita. Agua Caliente. There's, let's see, there we go. Anza Borrego Desert State Park. And so on the other side of Julian, got this Anza, and that's where, I believe on one of those episodes they touch on also. And it's the Borrego Sandman, I believe they call it out there. Yeah. You got the Borrego Sandman. And also not far from here is also where you have thing up in like the 29 Palms. There's Borrego Springs. So desert squatches in these areas, and could they just be passing through on their way up to the Sierras? We don't know. There's Salton Sea there. Weird that place, Salton Sea. Also, what is it? The Yucca Man is out in these areas as well. Another name for a desert type of Sasquatch. Well, they say desert because they're in those areas, but maybe they're, again, just passing through. So it gives you an idea of where Julian is. Again, over here. And it looks like there's quite a bit around there. High school, town. So interesting that they're getting activity out that way. And I always talk about also, like the title of that documentary, Bigfoot by the Borders, right here. And I'm a firm believer of Bigfoot without borders. And they could easily make their way over onto the Mexican side of things with no problem. Heck, people come over to this side, right? So, yeah, I think there's Bigfoot activity in Mexico. And I would love to one day get into all that. But yeah, let's see what else we got on Julian here, giving everyone an idea. Not not too far. You got the coast there. Oh, there's Palomar Mountain, which they also get into in one of those documentaries, the STM documentaries by Eli Watson. And I believe this is part of the Cleveland National Forest here, which I've checked out on the far end it's like over by it's in Orange County, California. There's what is it? What was the name of that place? We went to go skywatch there. It's full of paranormal activity. It is Black Star Canyon in Orange County. And no, I didn't know there was a place in Turkey called Batman. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Yeah, Black Star Canyon. What's up, Gerald? Salute Diesel. Yeah, Black Star Canyon. There's all types of weird paranormal stuff that happens there. We went there sky watching several times. And right there is the trail into the Cleveland National Forest also. So we did do a little walk into the trail a bit. Not too far. One of the times we went sky watching there. I got there a little early before the whole crowd did. And I went for a little walk, did a little recording. Didn't ran into a bunch of other people walking, but yeah, nothing. Do have mountain lion warnings and all that, but yeah, they say up in the I guess that Palomar Mountain, there's an observatory up there, and then in that area, it's all it's off limits to the public, and there's a lot of Bigfoot reports from that area, and yeah, it makes total sense. An area where people don't go to. They probably got a nice hub there. But yeah, check that out. And then I also looked into some other things pertaining to Julian and Bigfoot. Let's see here. Where'd you go? Right there. So I did a brave search. And yep, sure enough, we found something here. So I'll do my best and do a little bit of reading here. It says Bigfoot reports Julian, California. Bigfoot sightings have been reported in Julian, California, including a notable sighting in 2020 when a mysterious creature was spotted first in Ranchita. We pointed out Ranchita. And later in Julian. Pie Maker MM Goody reported seeing a huge creature pressing its nose against her shop window. Yikes. Describing it as 10 feet tall with huge feet, suggesting it might be Bigfoot. Yeah, I think so. Virginia Louise, a prospector and miner, actively pursued reports of Bigfoot in the backcountry of San Diego County, including the area around Julian. She documented encounters with Bigfoot in her book, Night Side of Gold. All right. Check that out, huh? And attempted to explore areas where Bigfoot sightings were reported. The Bigfoot Field Research Organization, BFRO, has recorded multiple sightings in California, with Humboldt County, oh yeah, having the most sightings among California counties. However, specific reports for Julian are less detailed but still exist within the broader context of Bigfoot sightings in San Diego County. In addition to these reports, these have been historical accounts of strange occurrences in the Julian area, such as the mysterious deaths around Dead Man's Hole, which some speculate could be linked to Bigfoot activity. Huh. Let's see here. Where'd we go? And then it says, these sightings and reports indicate that the Julian area has a history of Bigfoot encounters, though definitive proof remains elusive. Right on. Right on, Julian. We got to go visit Julian. Who's up in Julian? Who do we know in Julian? Anyone out there in Julian? Hit us up. Let's see. Bigfoot. Woman hunted for Bigfoot in San Diego County, and that's probably her. Yeah, Night Side of Gold there. Bigfoot Encounters. And I believe this Bigfoot Encounters site is the old Bobby Short website. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rest in peace, Bobby Short. Thank you for your amazing work. And let's see, mysterious creature spotted in Julian area, East County. Sightings of Bigfoot, aka Sasquatch, originated in the Ranchita area of San Diego's East County years ago. Though no sightings have been reported locally in recent decades, as our region's mountains areas have grown more popular, drawing crowds of tourists for music and da 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 da. Let's see, Julian Alps, Sylvania. No. And there's the earthquake report out of Julian there. And there's Julian Sands' disappearance at a Mount Baldy. Let's see, Christian. All right. So yeah, Julian. Little Bigfoot, SoCal Bigfoot activity and reports that are out there. I'm sure you could dig them up. We'll keep looking for stuff out of the Julian area, Ranchita, and surrounding areas as well. Let's see. And I was going to look into the BFRO really quick. What's up, Five Rings? Salute to you. Been a minute, bro. How you been? Let's see. Can we pull up the BFRO right quick? I think we could. Do Jeopardy music. Is that it? Nope. Where'd you go? Oh, yeah, this one is hiding. Got me good on this one. Anyway, we'll check this out. I had pulled this up too. So this is a channel I've been checking out lately, talking about the earthquakes. Global Quake. And they did, let's see. They did touch on that one out of Southern California here, 5.2. And they got several others from around the world there. Check that channel out if you're into earthquakes. Where was it in the East Coast recently that I heard it was getting a little shaker? That is it up in was it New York or somewhere that normally doesn't get earthquakes? It was shaking. Or are they really earthquakes? Or natural earthquakes? Makes me wonder, with all the thoughts of what could be under us. Maybe it's something else going on. Oh, yeah, they call them natural earthquakes. They're these plates. Yeah, funny. I guess we could oh yeah, I do have the BFR pulled up there. Where are you? I'll do it like that. Just pull it up. Boom. All right. We got it, folks. We're going to do just a quick search here. Maybe some folks don't know how to navigate through here. You could get your recently added reports there. Search. We're going to go search for sightings by region. I'm going to go to Cali down here. Boom. You see they got the list of all the counties. We're going to look for San Diego. Not that many reports submitted out of San Diego, but we're going to just scan really quick, see if anything with Julian or there's Camp Pendleton there. Or Ranchita. There's Mount Palomar there. We're mentioning that. Biped running through campground. Yikes. Hide your snacks. And beer. There's La Jolla. Of course, near the res. Boundary Peak. Yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, here we go. Duh, the first one. Everyone's in the chat like, dude. The first one there, sir. Sorry about that. Let's go. Let's check it out. So there's Julian. Whoops and knocks at campground near Julian. This is 2019 BFRO report number 63560, Class B, submitted by witness on Monday, October 28th, 2019. Hey, that's someone's birthday. I know that day. Whoops. Yep. Knox at campground near Julian. Let's see. 2019 fall, October, Sunday 20th, California, San Diego County. Location details: the tree knocks and whoops were heard while camping at, all right, Pinezanita Campground. Let's see. I don't know how, or I don't know if the campground owners would want the camp named in your report. This is a very quiet campground with many retired folks that stay here. Nearest town, Julian, Highway 79 near Coulter Ridge Road. Observed, and I'm going to pop this out like this. Observed, we went camping for a couple nights near Julian, California, in a location just a couple miles south of town adjacent to Highway 79. We arrived on a Friday night and stayed through Sunday afternoon. We were sharing a tent trailer with friends. Both mornings before dawn, I walked my wife over to the nearby porta potty restroom. Heard that before. That's why we went up to Chileo Campground. There's a report up there. And same thing, guy was walking his girlfriend to the restroom. Both nights were clear and quiet, dark with partial moonlight, but the area has a lot of trees, so there are shadows even, though you can see well enough to walk over to the restrooms without a flashlight. First morning, we walked over to the bathroom without incident, and it's very quiet there, especially in the evenings. The second morning, probably about 0540, as I waited for my wife, I very clearly heard a tree knock. It came from north of our location. When my wife came out the restroom, I told her what I heard and asked her if she heard it. She did not. We walked back to the tent trailer. and got back in bed as the sun was not rising until closer to 0700. We were both awake about 15 minutes later and both heard a single whoop sound, this time from a bit to the east. Right after the whoop sound was heard, there were blue jays in the trees around us that went nuts, making all kinds of noise for about 20 seconds. Then all was quiet again. Yep, it's probably those stellar jays. Bigfoot alarm. A bit later, still before dark, I got up and kindled the fire a bit outside and decided to take my vehicle up the road to drop some trash off near the campground office. Another friend from a second tent trailer, also camping with us, was up at this time. I told her about the tree knock and whoop that was heard. When I returned from the quick errand to the trash bin, she told me she had also heard a tree knock, but this time it was to our west. A few minutes later, I heard two more whoops, one from the southeast, then a couple minutes after that to the south. Let's see. These were not coyotes yipping. Not sure what else to say about it, but it was interesting. Also noticed the tree knock I heard sounded just like someone hitting a tree trunk with a baseball bat or a solid limb. Very solid, clear sound like we hit baseball. It had been windy earlier that night, but when these things happen, it was quite still. Other witnesses, my wife and friend's wife, other stories, not that I'm aware of. This was my first time camping here. I'd like to go back and see if there is anything else similar or related to what we heard. Time and conditions 0540 a.m. clear skies with partial moonlight. Environment pines and oaks, manzanitas, as well as some other trees similar to quaking aspens with some wild grapes, etc. Typical Southern California. Plants, trees, and grasses. And here's a little map here. And let's see what else is around there. Ooh, okay. Yeah, not too far from Julian at all. And then this area is a zone of sightings reports extending back many years. The Borrego Sandman legend comes from this area generally. More recently, there have been encounters on the San Isabel Reservation, closer to Mount Palomar and Lake Henshaw. The witnesses is a fire captain for a city in Orange County. He said the whoops were too low pitched to be a coyote or dog or owl. They were like ape-like, he says. Here's what the area looks like. So yeah, pretty scrubby, a lot of scrub brush. Definitely SoCal-y. And yeah, you wouldn't think in these areas that there would be the Sasquatch. There's that white one, Ranchita. Gnarly fart blast in the sky there. And yeah, you'll see this in the documentary as well. Here's a statue of the local Bigfoot referred to as the Borrego Sandman. Yes.
The Borrego Sandman.
All right. Julian, y'all, it's popping off. What else we got? Where am I at? Where's the chat at? Everyone's still alive in here? Woo. Got some good reading in there. What else? Let's see. Do we have anything else related to the SoCal Squatches? You know, I did hear of a report out of Arizona. Did anyone hear about the little boy that went missing recently out of Arizona and was luckily found? Easy Pop. There you is. I mentioned you earlier. Sending some love out your way, showing some appreciation and giving thanks for the membership, and was mentioning to the people what you do, that you get down with the Scully Pop over there. And feel free to share your link, your channel here. I know you're very active over there, so don't be shy. Share your channel. Get it out there. Y'all check out Izzy Pop. They do reading and animation, and it's very psychedelic, and some Alice in Wonderland mixed with who is it? Willy Wonka, and you name it. It's all kind of blended in there. Super cool, super fun. Last night's, what was it? Last night? Last night's chat was on fire. We're having fun over there. And so is it. Where is Scully so he could do some of his ASMR here? Oh, you're not blue, dang. You're happy. I'm glad you're not blue. Here we go. Voila. Here, we needed some effects with that, right? Let's see. How do we do that? Use it wisely. May the force be with you, Izzy. They'd have a few choppers fly over. Maybe you could identify the tail end of that one. There's two of them, maybe three. And they were loud. Here, I'll run it again. We'll loop it. Can you identify this chopper? Yeah, we get a lot of military flying over the shop. And I forget the name of that particular model. Is it got a horse's name, I think, right? Stallion? Stallion? Oh, man. Usually we'll get these weird objects that fly right over. Usually anything flying, helicopters, planes, we call them the fast movers. They zip by. So if you're new to the channel, you'll be seeing a whole lot of that here. And yeah, some of our friends that hang out also share quite a bit of their videos of these weird objects as well as others. So peep out the other channels that are on the chat here. Got some pretty cool friends hanging out if they're still here. But yeah. Wonder why they were flying over today. Ooh, pretty bad car wreck. We were checking out some speed chases earlier. They're at the scene of a car wreck at the moment. And let's see. Can't even see what time we got here, but we've been checking out live camera feeds. Izzy and Scully do also. Usually they pull up Bourbon Street, which is really cool. Yeah, yesterday they showed this dude kind of like biking through the crowd and smoothly switch. He was on the phone on a bike and just driving through the crowd like nothing, and switched ears while on the bike, which was really cool. Scully rewinded it. I was like, bro, that's a smooth operator right there. I think he had a little chuckle. Yeah, we're streaming on other platforms at the moment. So yeah, give us sub us up a follow. We'd appreciate it much. We're slowly growing, doing these streams, these live streams, and I am open to having guests. So anyone interested, yo, hit me up. Be like, yo, I want to jump on here. And I can post a link here as well, but I won't put pressure on anyone tonight. And it sounds like maybe Mondays, I'll be getting Mondays off here soon. I haven't, we hit that shop 24/7. Nah, not 24/7, but pretty much 7 days a week. Feels like 24/7. Sky's the limit. Smoke shop. And yeah, we got the Sky's the Limit Skywatch squad. Yeah, we love, checking for anomalies and stuff in the skies, which we do find. Peep the videos. There's a YouTube. Unclick. You can't click these links, but hey, you could screenshot them, share them out, and yeah, we're working on getting some stickers. Also, our homie's got his QR code with his YouTube logo made on a sticker. He's like, yeah, bro, send me your QR code. We'll get these done for you. It's like, all right. Sounds good to me. We got some, let's see, we got a little creepy news too. So we got this famous, like, it's LA, everyone thinks like everyone eats organic and everything out here. A lot of people do. A lot of people are very conscious of what they eat, try to, stay healthy and do the right thing, eat right. As we mentioned, Tommy's Burgers earlier. I don't go to Tommy's, but I remember eating at Tommy's. Used to be good, but I wouldn't go there now. But yeah, just being more conscious about what we ingest, how we ingest it, and I've also talked about you could probably guess, and some of you have guessed where for a long time I worked for one of the biggest health food stores, or probably in the nation. Um, And since then, I don't know, they've kind of like switched gears and got involved with someone else. And so I don't know, things have really changed there. But for a long time, I worked at their warehouse. I was, moving organic produce, exotic produce, and loved it. Loved all that. And so and I love going to the markets, you'll go hit the juice bar or, what is it, the body care section. I recently got read up on my body care toiletries, which I'm happy about. And so yeah, I like to, when I can, give the self the TLC, right? As everyone deserves. I recommend everyone giving yourself that TLC. And so yeah, health food stores. I like going to co-ops, health, farmers markets and stuff like that, all that. Try to get the good stuff when you can. And when you can't, you can't. But there's this health food store here in LA that's very well known. For a lot of people, it's still underground, never even heard of it. And we've touched on it here a little bit. What up, Prince? Salute. There's Sal. What up, Sal? Everything Bertos. Is that like is that the Spanish version of Burt's Bees? What's up, Alejandro? Good to see you, brother. Tomorrow is sky sighting with Rahama Group. If you want to go, all right. Yeah, I gotta go open the shop. I wonder what time that'll be. Is that gonna be a nighttime event? Send me a text and maybe I could show up, man. That would be fun. I appreciate the invite as well. And feel free to share your channel as well here, Alejandro. He's a big time sky watcher, y'all. Luces en el cielo, Anaheim. And he's just got that he could probably attract Bigfoots. He probably does when he goes out sky watching. He doesn't know it. And we were talking about Black Star Canyon. That's another place. We've been we've been together to Black Star. I think it was one time I missed you at Black Star, Alejandro. But yeah, we've been at Black Star. And I remember that one time we were leaving Black Star Canyon. Everyone had left, and it was just you and I in the parking lot. And you were telling me about the time I think you smelled like a cigar. We were talking about paranormal stuff, Bigfoot type stuff that has been reported in the area there, right? So yeah, Bigfoot has been reported in the Black Star Canyon area as well as other cryptids, and there's other paranormal stuff going on there. And we were hanging in the parking lot, and Alejandro was sharing that one time I believe he had smelled like some cigar smoke. He was there alone, and it was kind of weird. Um, and yeah, even that night it was him and I could feel like, ooh, something going on here. And I hung out a little bit after he took off. I hung out a little bit and further up the road, and yeah, that was a good time for sure. Yeah, yeah, good times, man. And yeah, I'm willing to go anytime. Just with the heads up, boom, we'll go. And then yeah, we've been talking about Shasta. People were talking about Shasta earlier today. We were talking about the uh
Robot Granny.
yeah, the robot granny situation. It always comes up when Mount Shasta comes up. And for those that don't know, there's a case out of Mount Shasta where it was a little boy. I'll say it really quick. It was a little boy. He was camping with his family, and he had this. I think it was almost like a dream or something. He felt like a dream, weird dream that he had, or something like that. Or he might have been abducted, right? And he said it was a lady that looked like his grandmother, and he took him to this cave, and in the cave there was all types of human stuff around, like old guns, shoes, and it was all dusty and stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe they would abduct people and take them in, and they would leave their belongings there or something, right? It sounded like. And that this his what he thought it was his granny tried to have him uh poop, yeah, poop on a piece of paper, and I forget someone. I don't know why a cookie sheet, because someone was explaining it one time, and they explained the paper being almost like a cookie sheet. Maybe they, I don't know why they thought of that. And earlier today when we were talking about it, I mentioned, oh, the sheet of paper. Someone mentioned the sheet of paper. I was like, oh, the cookie sheet, and I was like, oh no, Granny's cookies, robot Granny's cookies, don't eat them.
Eat the cookies.
Oh, Granny, no. And then Garrow was like, yeah, yum, Granny's cookies, robot Granny's cookies and milk. So I think Garrow and I are going to be going into business here soon, y'all. We're going to have, yeah, don't try to steal our idea. We said it first. You heard it first here. Mount Shasta's robot Grant. Say it right.
Mount Shasta's Robot Granny's cookies. Medicated and non-medicated.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Here we go down the Shasta rabbit hole now. So Alejandro and I are in the process of manifesting going to Mount Shasta. It'll happen. And I think he went up there already without me, which is fine. Did you go up with Carlos Clemente? So Carlos Clemente is another YouTube channel we've been showing here. And I should get this off already. Let's get out of here. Sorry about that. Been having me on the small screen here to get me out. How do we do it? Here we go. Should have done that a while back. Sorry about that. Come on, DJ. Where were we going? Lost myself here. Oh, yes. Carlos Clemente. It happens. But we got it. So we've been pulling his channel up quite a bit. And this is Alejandro's friend here, y'all. Yep. He's plugged in like that. And he's got all these live webcams. And I heard Popocatepec was erupting the other day. I seen another channel just post a small video clip. And it looks like they had thermal footage. Because it looked like nighttime, black and white. And it looked beautiful. But yeah, we could check out one of his videos now. And so, yeah, and I've been seeing little objects go by. So we do get action with these cams, and it's super cool that he's doing this. And so check out Carlos. I thought I'd mention Carlos's channel since we had his channel ready to go there, and his good friend Alejandro's here. So yeah, and I just feel like, yeah, for him doing this, it's a big effort. I mean, I don't know. I imagine he has a team helping him. But I'm sure he puts in a lot of work himself. And yeah, to have several of those cameras going in different states of Mexico, it's awesome. And Alejandro mentioned last time it'd be awesome if we could get one up on Mount Shasta, which would be great. And so, yeah, when I'm not live, I'm definitely checking these out. And if you're a sky watcher or a YouTube sky watcher, I recommend it to you. Oh, yeah. So we'll also take a look at Mount Shasta. I was able to find some Shasta cams. There's one up on one of their ski resorts. Is NAC behaving? Is he still in here? NAC. Let's see here. And you know what else? I found some Yosemite cams. Yosemite Sam. And, when there's no one skiing at the moment. But this is great for, just like the sky watching, this is squatching. Sky watching and squatching. And so, yeah, you never know what might pop up. Actually, last night I was checking this out. And if it wasn't an airplane, and I don't think it was an airplane because I've checked this area out during the daytime, this big old ball of light, I'd call it an orb, started popping up on the left side of the screen. I mean, I can't say for sure it was, but I was like, oh, yeah, that looks very orb-like. And so, yeah, you'll get anomalies. The Crater Lake Cam is another one where I've been spotting these weird little spots that pop up every once in a while, kind of look like those fast movers I was describing earlier. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's just super cool. You could get a view. We're up on Mount Shasta right now. Hey. Where are they at? They're somewhere on that mountain. There's all types of stuff going on there. And yeah, we'll be tapping into those. The daytime is really nice too, because you really get to see more visual. But I don't mind the nighttime stuff too. There is a Yosemite cam. Let's see, where you at, Yosemite Sam? And that camera's buffering there. Let's see if we could check the High Sierra webcam. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Pull it up. Come on. Here we go. That's up in the High Sierra there. Now you're up in Yosemite. Thanks to Yosemite Conservancy there. And I don't know if you've seen when I was scrolling through the webcams there, there's one aimed at Half Dome, the famous Half Dome. There's one aimed at the falls, one of the falls. There's this High Sierra one. And I believe there's one more. We'll take a look in a second. We're not going to look at them all, but we'll have a little peek here, see if anything walks by or anything. Yesterday, I don't know if they were gusts of wind. What up, Woo Reezy? Good to see you, bro, man. We got Woo Reezy is in the house.
Derek to the office.
Yeah, there was this. Imagine if there was like snow blowing, and there is snow there. If there was a lot of wind and snow blowing at the same time, is what it looked like, but it was kind of weird. There was all this, I don't know, these other little rod looking objects and some little orby ones too. Could be debris. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's kind of weird. And it is Yosemite. You know, Yosemite, just like Shasta, is just full of strangeness, huh? Super cool that you're able to take a peek right now in some of the further out parts of the park there. Let's see. Let's check out one of their other cams here. Let's see. So there's the Half Dome webcam, El Capitan. Yes, how could you forget El Cap? Let's see. I don't think we could see El Cap right now. It's probably all dark. Oh, silhouette. We'll take it. Look at that. Anyone been to Yosemite? Do you know El Cap? El Capitan. What's homeboy's name? The young guy who free climbed El Capitan. Is it Brandon? Forget his last name. Mind blowing. No safety gear, just a little bag of chalk, maybe a little tape around his fingers or something like that. What is it? It's the height of that thing. Oh my goodness. Have you seen videos of that? Gut wrenching. That had my stomach turning the whole way. Amazing stuff. And yeah, people out there getting it. CDT Beats. What up, fam? Much love to you. Thank you for tapping in. Y'all, check out CDT Beats. He makes beats. He was making beats for us the other night, or displaying, showcasing some of his beats. And yeah, he makes beats on the spot right there, on the fly. Freestyling stuff. And I mentioned to him, I've been cutting up lately the records and stuff, and I offered, man, hey, need any scratches or anything like that? I got you. We can make that happen. But yeah, no, man, I'd love to get in the studios here soon and start knocking out some slappers myself. I have before, but been out of touch, man. But you're on fire, bro. Keep up the good work, and I appreciate the membership. And I seen you recently gave me a membership, or someone gave me a membership to your channel, and I appreciate that. And hopefully in the future we could work on something, man. And I know you're totally open to that. So always, there's Wild Man. Yes, Wild Child. Just fart blasting right quick. Yeah, there he is. And Wildman, so Wildman and Diesel in the chat have been on fire today, and always on fire. Adding Diesel to the fire. And they both posted videos of squatchy looking structures, teepees in their areas. So check that out. I went and shared that out over on my channel, so you could peep that out and see how the similarities in the structures being found in New Jersey and in Southern California and in many other parts of the world and in the country. So, yeah, super exciting, very beautiful structures. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. Yeah. And yeah, keep it squatchy, y'all. And earlier I was also thinking about that. I was like, that's super cool that, Wild Man's on fire right now. Diesel's on fire. And there's several other people out there that are on fire on the same tip. But it's unfortunate that some of us don't get along. And, some of these people I hadn't talked to for a minute. I had to take a little break and just, I don't know, just do my thing, right? And and it's unfortunate because I was thinking, like, man, what if all these dudes were to come together and just everyone do their magic and everyone shared like whatever we want to share, it doesn't have to be everything, but just yeah, put our minds and our skills together and just to get more answers. And we're doing our own thing and it's all good, right? But yeah, I like to see the collaborations and stuff like when favorite artists or favorite musicians and stuff like that do collabs and stuff and they just knock it out the park. And yeah, I'm all about that. And hopefully, yeah, more of us could get maybe through old beefs and stuff like that and maybe, yeah, start collabing, working together. Never know. It doesn't got to be on some whole like, you know, you're part of my organization. No, no, hell no. Everyone do their own thing, but yeah, there's ways we could work together, I think. I'm just kind of like briefly touching on it because it's what I'm really trying to get at is complex. It could get complex, and just because it's just a human thing. I think it comes down to. So it's not just the Bigfoot arena, the Bigfoot circuit. It's in every circuit, and yeah, it seems to be a human thing. So El Cap right there, boom, nice little view. And that's a perfect one for sky watching right there. You can get some things zipping by there if you're lucky. If you're lucky and lucky. So this is a camera we'll be having here on the regular is the Yosemite and the Shasta one. Of course, Crater Lake's going to be looking all dark, but man, during the day, it's amazing. There's quite a few else. Let's see, what else? We've been checking out the Hollywood Cam, which is, yeah, we could take a look at that. Why not? Give you all an idea what it looks like out here right now. And I'm actually to the east of Hollywood, so that's behind the letters there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, let's see what else did I want to touch on. There's so much. Oh yeah, the little boy, Arizona, right? So a little boy went missing recently. I didn't touch on the health food store. I jumped off the health foods. Here, let's touch on the health food store really quick too. All over the place. Yeah, I'm trying to like wrap a week's worth of stuff into into tonight. This will be an interesting one here, y'all. Believe me. So there's a health food store, a popular one. So it's even more popular. I think it's becoming more popular than the old health food store I was hinting at that I worked at earlier. And I got sent this article and I was like, whoa, is this for real? And I looked it up and it was for real. And if Wildman's here, he might probably already know about this, but yes. Roaches like Erewhon smoothies too. The roaches are free range, dairy free, and available for an $11 upcharge. And that's from the Eatery, Los Angeles. Yeah, Erewhon is the name of the place, and I've been to it a couple times. Super, super expensive. But they got quality stuff, just like their juice bar here. And yes, it says we'll read briefly here. Let's see. A whole new set of fans are swarming to get their hands on the 20. Yep. And I was going to play around and just say that they have $20 smoothies there. But look, yeah, $20 Haley Bieber strawberry glazed skin Erewhon smoothie. Roaches. Yep. So yeah, they got dinged for roach infestation. You could check this article out. I was like, whoa, Erewhon. Yep. Hopefully Wildman's here and checking this out. You shop at Erewhon, Wildman? Dang it. Those smoothies are going to be more expensive now. Oh, Wildman getting a round of applause. And you know what? Wildman yesterday, so I don't know if Izzy Pop took off. There was someone in Scully Pop's chat, and I mentioned there was some dude. He was like the Rocket Blaster, I think he went by something Rocket Blaster, and he made a fart comment in the chat, and I was like, hold on. And then Woo Reezy, Woo Riders DG in the chat here, was also in the chat, and I was like, hey, is that our friend Wildman who likes to fart blast? And this lady in the chat was cracking up, and so I had to describe who our friend Wildman was. I said, our friend Wildman, is that him? And she was cracking up, and I mentioned something else, and I was like, yeah, well, you should check out our friend Sovereign Cosmic Wildman. And she went over and she checked out your channel, bro, and gave you an subscribe and said, yeah, she's totally into Bigfoot and liked the structure. So she's seen some of your videos, gave you an subscribe. So you got a new follower over there. Salute. And hopefully she checks some of our channels out as well here. And cheers to the lady. Trekking. You guess you have issues playing Dum Dum for the sake of science. Uh-oh. Hmm. What else we got before we head out here? Yeah, the little boy missing in Arizona. And for Easter, I was also talking about we've been tracking all these plane incidences and helicopter. There's been several more and some interesting ones. Yeah, having almost to do with the holiday coming up. It seems like telling you those rituals popping off. Keep an eye out, folks. And some school pew pewings, couple of them, pretty weird. I don't know, wildish. That's when we say ish, is really backwards. So don't forget that when you hear that. You do it on the record also. pull it backwards. It says ish. So small boy goes missing in Arizona and is found by a rancher's dog. Wow. Let's see here. Do we have that? Do we have it? No, we don't, but we will pull it right back up. It had gone to smoke and scan. It's smoke and scan. I had it ready. But really quick, let's see. Plane incident. And this was earlier this week.
This morning, an unusual animal encounter causing a scare in the air.
Rabbit through the number 2. That'll do it. All right.
A rabbit somehow making it into the right engine of United Airlines Flight 2325 from Denver to Edmonton Sunday,
Yes,
right as the Boeing 737 with 159 people on board was taking off.
There was a loud
rabbit. Got Easter coming up.
bang and a significant vibration in the plane. We proceeded to still climb.
Harrowing video from inside the cabin showing large flames shooting from that engine.
Every few moments, there was a backfire coming from the engine, a giant fireball behind
going
it.
on here?
Everybody in the plane then started
How
to
did that
panic.
rabbit
The
get in
soaring
there?
blaze visible from the ground.
My stomach dropped and I just
How'd
thought
that
I'm
rabbit
going to
get
see a
in there?
plane go down.
Take with you all your belongings.
The pilots quickly responding to malfunctions in the cockpit. At one point, thinking the fire was impacting the landing gear.
The landing gear, we have indication there's no lock up.
The plane turning around after about 75 minutes in the air.
Does that get a sheesh? And thank you to Thin Lizzie Borden. I believe she also sent me that early in the morning. Her Kingman works at one of these places. I'll just say that. And yeah, I gave her a heads up on what was going on, and she gave me the heads up, knowing that I've been following and sharing this type of stuff. But very interesting that, there's all these different weird, like I mentioned, ritual type things going on, and especially a lot of things going on up in the air. There was another one out of Belize I was checking out earlier that it was an American started flipping out on the train, on the plane, and I'm tripping out. And the passengers had I think he had like a knife or something, and they had to take him out. Someone luckily had a pew pewer, I think, on board, and they took him out. And that was in Belize, Central America. Yeah, there was another plane incident earlier this week also. Can't remember it off the top of the dome here. But I did want to pull up the little boy that went missing in Arizona. And let's see, we'll go ahead and YouTube it. Boy missing. Arizona. And there it is. And so this, what was it? I think today Politis, Mr. Politis, was touching on that Oregon case that we had touched on where the little boy ended up in the river. We did a little live stream about that and several other cases. And he was bringing up a lot of the case questions on that case that we were asking, about the parents, this and that and this. And those same questions come up with this case. And for me, all the other cases with when the kids go missing from the house, it's like, where's the parent? Where's, this? Where's who? That. So many questions. And a lot of that you don't hear on the reports or anything after the situation happens. Luckily, this one ended good. And we'll take a look here. Inside Edition. We'll choose there. Whoops. Got to share first. And so, yeah, it makes me wonder what happened? Where'd you go? I think he ended up like 7 miles away. And we'll have a listen.
It's dangerous territory for anyone.
There were even 2 mountain lions spotted during the search last night.
Especially a child. That's why when a toddler went missing in the northern Arizona high desert, the
2 mountain lions spotted while they were looking for this little boy. Amazing he didn't run into them.
search was on to find him quickly. No one was more surprised than Scotty Dutton, who says he found the child the next morning hanging out with his dog Buford. He told KPHO,
going down the driveway, then my dog was sitting down there with the little kid, just brought him up from the horse pasture.
Go Buford.
And brought him over to the gate and was just hanging out with him.
2-year-old Bowden Allen was safe despite being found 7 miles from home.
You walk all night? He goes, no, I slept under a tree. And I said, well, did my dog find you? And he said, yep.
The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says it was the best possible outcome.
It's a rarity, so it is not every day that we get to sit here and talk about a happy ending where the child was safe and located.
Yeah, so is this normal when this happens to kids? Is it normal for them to I get out of the house, I get that, but to go missing overnight, end up miles away. I don't know. I think something else is going on when stuff like that happens. And even when they don't remember exactly what may have happened, I think there is something else going on here.
Buford still had to go to work on the ranch that day, but was rewarded with a steak dinner for being such a good boy. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Mara Montalbano.
Wait, so you're telling me Buford doesn't normally get steak dinners? Come on, Pops. All right. So yeah, happy ending to that story there. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up for now. Started with a chase here. The stringers are still out, y'all. That we didn't even get into AXN. Still a bunch of other cameras we could have got into. We're just warming up here. Touching base. Glad to hop back on here, say what's up, hang out with everyone. And yeah, we're doing all right. Little steps at a time, dealing with life on life's terms. And yeah, it's always good to hang out a bit. So Mondays, it seems like we're gonna be hanging out. Expect me on Monday. And then Andy Decodes on YouTube. Sounds like we might be doing a little interview. Josh Turner also told me to hit him up. I'll hit him up. And yeah, much love to everyone out there. Appreciate you supporting the channel. And we'll see you mañana. Maybe we'll do a little live, maybe if possible, from the shop. We'll see how things go. And I'm sure it's still going to be active tonight. You know, Smoking Scan is still on. AXN News is on. Chasing Reality. It's a bunch of stringers on here in SoCal and up in looks like Sacramento, Bakersfield as well. So it's active, y'all. One love. We're out. Let's see. Where's our little outro?